chairs. Take it to a space.
I can just throw it in.
All right, we're gonna
I just adjusted the camera to get you in.
do the May meeting redux. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Ed,
Yep.
Mike,
Yep.
I'm here, Kathy, yep, Doug.
Yes. All right. This meeting's being recorded. Public comment on agenda items only. Don't all jump at once.
I have a question, Eddie.
Yeah.
How many water and sewer assistants do we have?
How many water and sewer systems? You mean like customers on the,
No, I'm talking about assistants to the sewage plant manager.
Oh, it's on the agenda here somewhere? Where is it? What number is it?
18?
I'm asking because of the monthly profit and loss report. And I was asking because it shows the cell phone bill was $117. And do we just have Carl Shaner as an assistant, or is there more than one assistant now that's getting cell phone bills, or cell phone, per month?
All right. Where are we? It's Verizon. Wireless.
Item 409.05 on the profit and loss. You all don't know how many assistants?
We do, but the question doesn't,
Is there more assistants now than just Carl Shaner?
no, there's just
Yeah.
Carl, but other than Carl's cell phone bill that we pay each month, but generally it's paid quarterly, that would be it. That's why we were looking to see if something was put in the wrong category.
Because it shows $117 for the month, April through May.
She's on a different report. She didn't give me the profit and loss. I don't have that one. I didn't put that one up. I didn't have it.
$117. And what's your question? If that's more than one phone?
That's more, yeah, I'm asking, is that more than one phone,
Yeah. It's
$117?
1 month. I mean, that's a quarter. That's gotta be the quarter.
But then it also shows the road department for the month of April through May costing $105, and there's 3 phones. So I don't know how one phone could be $117.
Because it was payment for 3 months.
Oh, because the monthly report says April 23rd through May 21st.
Yes, but I believe that's the same way you did it.
No, that's not the viewpoint I did. Because in the same month, you're showing road department 105 for 3 phones.
Why don't you look into it and have an answer for it,
Yeah.
because we don't have it here. And I'm gonna suggest that it would be helpful. I know the previous board, there was a time that we did not have a secretary here at the meeting, that was a township secretary, the clerical secretary. I think it's in order to have the clerical secretary come to the meetings at least once a month, because we have questions. She's working with us on a daily basis. We need to be able to have her questions. we didn't do it because whoever we put in that position was gonna be temporary. And we're gonna continue on, I think we need to consider that.
Is that a motion?
It's not time for a motion, but I'll make that when it comes time.
All right, anybody else?
Well, I had another question on the same report. For Secretary Treasurer, accident policy is $236, and the police is $245. And do we still just have one office person that's full-time, and we have, what, 2 full-time officers? So I'm just wondering why it looks like the amount's so high.
What page is that?
It's on the monthly profit loss report?
Is that from last meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't have that meeting. That was
I
from
don't
last
have it.
meeting that we didn't have.
Right, but isn't this the meeting from last
Yeah.
month, or last week? It
She
just wasn't
didn't
advertised
print those.
properly?
She didn't reprint
She
that.
didn't reprint them, so we don't have them.
Well, would you like me to bring this one up so you can look to see what I mean?
I believe Mr. Teagarden said we would get back to you.
I would suggest,
Yeah,
we have it written down, what exactly she's asking.
yeah.
What's the other one, Tammy? The,
The Secretary Treasurer accident policy is $236.34. And there's just one full-time as far as I know. And the police accident policy is $45.18, and that's for 2 full-time police officers. So I'm just wondering why the amounts are so close. Because we have 3 road department at full-time that's $488. So it looks like it's 100 and something per employee.
All right.
Ed, is there anybody else I want to ask? There's a request on that report while they're looking that stuff up, they can take a look at it between the meetings here.
Did we ever find out about the lights down by the basketball court if the church, because there's 4 lights down there. Are we paying for
We're paying for 2 lights,
2?
2 that's right at the basketball court, and one of them's on the flagpole.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a question on the minutes of April. Do you want me to wait till you guys get to the April minutes, or do you want me to ask it now?
Go ahead and ask it now.
All right, Dave Ely, Shaler Road. Obviously, I wasn't here at April's meeting, but I see that, according to the minutes, Mrs. Croft motioned to send a letter to, looks like this ordering firm, to look into Ely Road and Midland Asphalt and any other chargeable action done by the 2017 Board of Township Supervisors. I don't know, I guess I'm kind of appalled by this. You know, we have a preacher come in here and say a prayer before the meetings and stuff, and maybe he ought to stick around for the meeting, the whole meeting, that way he can see how he act sometimes. Because I don't think good Christian people should be acting this way. I can honestly say for the past 2 years, I've been harassed. Mrs. Croft took a picture of my property. If she'd have been 10 seconds
Hey,
earlier,
hang on. This is public comment on agenda items. Now, you're asking about something in the minutes. Not,
it's all together. It's all together.
there's nothing in the minutes about anybody taking a
Okay,
photo of
when do
your,
you want me to talk about this? At the end of the meeting?
yeah.
Thank you.
Do you have something wrong with the minutes?
No, that was just my comment. I find it really appalling that, you know, we're gonna spend more money on an audit. We had an audit conducted already, and the findings come back as no money missing. And now we're gonna spend more money on another audit. If this audit comes back with results you're not looking for, are we gonna get another audit until we keep going to get the results you're looking for, or?
Maybe.
Okay.
What do you want? Okay. Anybody else?
Good answer, Question on the minutes.
State your name.
Ron Cord, Operating Engineers. Report from executive session. There was a motion to change the current township health care plan and a motion to change compensatory time. Did the board negotiate with the union about these changes? Did you discuss this, or did you just unilaterally make changes?
Mr. Cord, you're grieving that, and we ain't discussing it.
I'm asking the board a question. Did
Yeah.
you sit and unilaterally make changes, or did you meet and discuss these changes with the union?
Mr. Cord, first of all,
I asked you,
wait a minute,
Mr.
no,
Mayor,
no.
did you authorize the board to
No,
make
no,
these
no,
changes?
no.
Are you
Are
on
you a
answer?
resident of the township?
I don't think I have to be a resident to ask a question.
Okay, you got my
Do I
answer.
have to be a
You-
resident?
You
to
do,
No.
technically you have to be a resident.
you know what, I don't,
Right to, the Sunshine Act says you have to be a resident.
It does?
I don't care, you can ask all the questions you want, but you guys are grieving that, and we're not discussing it right now.
All
So
I'm
that's
asking-
the answer you're gonna get.
Okay, all right. thank
Who
you.
else?
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
have a few on the bills.
On this
figures.
one, the one I have.
Not,
Okay.
yeah, I think it's the same as you had
Okay.
last month. I'm sitting on here, and I thought the township had a payroll company doing payroll.
We do.
And yet I see here that there were significant checks issued to Ed Crashar, Eve Paulson, William Regal, and there was another one on here to William Regal for sick time.
Yeah.
What are you guys cutting checks for if payroll is being done by a payroll company?
The sick time was an error that the payroll company made.
Yeah.
The payroll company made the error?
Yes,
Were
And
the
this-
hours reported correctly?
yes.
Payroll companies usually don't make errors.
Well,
Okay.
apparently you
Okay,
don't
well
have
then
our
what about
payroll
these?
company. Yes.
What about these big ones down here?
That's their comp time. They got paid for their comp time.
When was that authorized?
I was just gonna say, I don't remember
Where's
you
that?
authorizing that in
You'll
a
have to
meeting.
ask the attorney when FLSA was authorized.
No, when was it authorized that we cut checks and buy comp time? When did this
That's a
board,
lot of
or
money not
or
to
when we
have a
approved this, is
motion
that
on.
authorizing it?
When we
When we approved the minutes or the motion? I mean, I don't have any, did you advise us to do a settlement on comp or comp time?
Anytime there's a bill that has to be authorized by the township or by the board.
What we
It's
did,
already been cut, checks been
was-
delivered.
I have not authorized that check today.
Wait, I don't understand.
hold on,
We don't need an attorney then, right? We just do it on our own. Mr. Cord, can I talk to you outside? You got a couple seconds to talk outside?
No, I'll talk to you.
You don't talk, okay?
Now, this is the way you want it, this is the way you're gonna get it.
No, Mr. Cord, I thought maybe if you want to talk about, I thought you had
Should've said
a
anything.
client you wanted to talk about tonight in executive session. Do you want to do that or not?
No,
Okay.
we'll wait. We'll answer as the board makes decisions, we'll answer.
Mrs. Croft motioned to modify compensatory time for all current employees based on the FLSA and any township contracts.
Okay, does modified time mean you go back and cut a check?
The contract says that you're using within 30 days.
I don't understand. I thought anytime the check's issued, is to be okayed by this board.
All checks should be issued by, should be approved by the board.
This check's already been, these checks have been issued. That's a surchargeable item in itself.
You have to show us a loss for surcharge, but those items have to be approved by the board at a public meeting, okay?
I don't know, how do we fix that? It's already been done. This board has habitually done things outside of this board action. This
We
has
learned
to-
from a
this-
good-
this
we
has to-
learned from
Hey,
you.
guys,
This has to stop. This has
Hey,
to
guys,
stop.
guys, no check should be cut unless it's approved by the board.
But that's part of the
That was part of the,
Uh,
But the check has to be approved. As I said, the check should be, I know you have a policy.
We don't approve their paycheck.
Yes, you do. It's a contingency.
That's part of their
It's
paycheck.
part of, yeah, well, and that's the same, that falls in the same place.
Did we do this for all employees, including the police department?
For
For their comp
comp
time?
time, yes.
Did we buy out their comp time as well? Did we buy out the comp time for the police department?
we started with the road crew and then we go on to the police
To
department.
answer my question,
Wow.
did we? I know I have requested twice within the last month copies of the comp time for the police and road department from this township office that has not been supplied to me. Now, these are copies last time I asked for it, back in January, I asked for reports showing comp time and I got this report with the printouts that tell me what comp time is for police and the roads. Okay, I asked for it repeatedly again, twice, in writing, yet I don't have them. Why is it? Does anybody have any clue? Did somebody tell the office not to supply them to me?
I've never seen anything from you asking for the,
Okay.
Can I ask a question? Okay.
Who are you asking, bud?
I'm asking this, whoever attends the office here. Tammy, are you aware of me requesting this information from
No, I
Sharon?
did not. I did not need it. I did not.
Okay.
need it.
Okay, would you, am I to ask you now when I want this information, rather than Sharon? Because the last time I asked you, I got a lecture on why I should already have this stuff. Okay, not this stuff, but other stuff I requested.
Okay, you can ask Sharon.
Okay,
I will ask Sharon.
I'll forward you the requests that I've made on it. So we did not buy out the police department or offer to under comp time.
that's next.
Uh,
I can only tackle one area at a time.
Okay, any other questions on, or comments on the, yeah,
Who is the Woods family? It's on here as a final payment for $1,688. Who's the Woods family?
That is the
The water.
company that put in the backflow preventer at the sewage treatment plant.
And that WC Well Wheel PM LLC, over 27,000.
Those
Separate
are the pumps for the phase
Lift
2
station.
and the loop. They're very expensive and they still haven't been delivered.
anybody else? Is your question on the agenda? On agenda item?
I just wanted to know why, as supervisors, aren't you allowed to go into the office and look for what it is you're looking for?
Again, it's,
If you can't get something, I just wonder.
Ma'am, we have a process in place to request information, and we have never had supervisors just go in and help themselves with 5 gallons, unless they're doing it now. They didn't do it on our watch.
I'm just asking. Thank you.
Who was it you addressed that request to?
The secretary in the office.
Well, then that would be the one to answer your question.
I would think so, yes.
Okay.
I agree with you.
all right.
Tammy?
Under the 10-mile paving, we paid them $3,400. How many hours were they here?
Oh, 10 mile paving. Is that for the,
Street
Buck Run?
Street sweeping. Street sweeping.
Oh, the street.
That wasn't very good.
Well, it was $135 an hour, right, wasn't it? 6.5 hours. Nine hours on the 30th, 6.5 hours on the 1st, 6 hours on the 2nd, and 4 hours on the 3rd.
Okay, it just seems like a lot. I'm wondering how many hours they were actually working.
That's what I'm looking
How many
at.
hours is that?
That's 15 and a half, 25 hours, 25 and a half hours.
What's her hourly rate? 135?
I think it was 135. They spent 25 hours here?
13.
You kept track of them, Ed?
Keith
Heath did?
did. Yeah,
How many?
13.
Okay. How many employees are?
That's the whole township?
Yeah, that was.
The meadows and everything?
West Bell, the lot down here, yeah.
They was here 3 days from 9 to 2.
Okay.
And one day they was done at noon.
Thank you.
That's not 25 hours.
Slave overpayment.
Now, there's gonna be probably, a little travel time there, but
Yeah.
everybody charges travel time, but not that much.
Yep.
Well, we don't have to pay them right now.
Why don't you just look bill and check into it,
Yeah.
based upon representations being made.
Good catch.
Yep. Anybody else?
Under new business, number 15. Move payroll locally, I understand that, and redo the work week. And build in an extra week. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Yeah,
Redo the work week?
Yeah, currently, they get paid like day laborers, kinda. They get paid the same week they work. And we wanna have a holding week in there.
We actually write the payroll check out for a day that hasn't even been worked yet.
Yeah. They hand their time in on Wednesday, so it can go to the payroll company for the 2 days that they haven't worked.
No, for the Wednesday.
For the Wednesday.
For, yeah,
Or- Yeah.
One day.
for the day of the day,
One day.
yeah.
One day.
One day.
Has that created a problem?
Yes.
Yes.
What kind of problem?
Well, so if something happens and the guys have to leave early on that day, then we have to readjust the next week's time card and the next week's.
Well, that's the way we was doing it, turning them in on Thursday and getting paid on Friday. And then somehow it got switched back to being Wednesday. So what's it gonna be, Wednesday or Thursday?
Ed, when did it switch?
And how's it gonna go in?
When did it switch? I don't know exactly when.
I don't remember switching.
Is it last year or this year?
It probably
shortly
switched
after
when we went to the
Dawn
payroll
started,
company.
Right after the Thursday.
When we went to
I
the
was
payroll.
in the office.
We went to the payroll company.
The payroll company requires it to be in by Wednesday before 2 in order for them to have their deposits by Friday. So they need time to process because they're in Maine. So we have to contact them in Maine.
Okay.
So it takes, a few days for it to be processed, for their direct deposits to hit on Friday.
I honestly, we'll discuss that when it's on the agenda, but every place I've ever worked, they've held at least a week.
Yes.
Every place. Some places it was 2 weeks. If you got paid every 2 weeks, they held one check. I don't see, that's nothing out of the ordinary, and I don't see where that would be a severe burden.
I don't know if people live from day to day, it might be a burden if it goes a week without any money.
Everybody lives day to day, Doug.
Not everybody, a lot of us do.
Okay.
All right, anybody else
I know I
on
do.
the agenda? Stuff that's on the agenda. All right. The minutes, approve the minutes of the 23rd, April 23rd meeting.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
How do you vote?
Mike,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
I vote yes. Ed?
Yep.
Doug?
I'm gonna abstain because he's not here.
Okay, financial business, approval of the treasurer's report. All the information's up here, right?
Yeah, everything else is up here too. I just want to see if the,
Should we make it with the change with the
That's what I was
cell
just-
phone? Since there's,
well, with the 10 mile paving as well,
oh,
because she has, we have the check for
Right.
that.
Yeah.
So you're making a motion to approve it subject to those deletions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a motion.
Yep. So I will make a motion, subject to the,
Deletion of the 10 mile invoice and also the
the
cell phone
phone
situation.
for the water, yes.
Yeah.
I'll make
Cell
that
phone.
motion.
I second it.
How do you vote?
Mike,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
I vote yes. Doug,
Yes.
Ed.
Yep. Motion to pay the bills. Probably with the caveat of those two. That's why I didn't, you know.
So you make a motion to pay the bills subject to deletion of the 10 mile invoice and also the cell phone situation.
I'll make that motion. Second.
I've got a question on the bills, or just a comment. I appreciate Kathy's generosity in letting us use her funds, but I don't think it's good practice having supervisors buy large amounts of anything and being reimbursed by the township.
Buying, what is she buying?
We needed, rear rollers for the skid steer, and I don't know what it was about the company, but none of the township credit cards would work. And we ended up using mine, and in fact, mine got rejected. I had to call Discover to tell them that it was not a fraudulent thing. There are apparently only 2 of them in the whole United States, and this wee little company in Minnesota, I believe it was, had it.
And what was the purchase price?
$770-some. But only because we had to have them immediately to fix the skid steer.
I understand that.
I've done it, I've used my charge card.
Yeah, we didn't have a choice. That's the only way to get them here
Well,
quickly.
Mr. Tigard was making a comment, and
Yes.
tried to frame, but
Yeah, it was just.
I understand.
That was the only way to do it.
I understand. So there was a motion, a second to the bill?
Yeah, Doug.
Yeah.
Did you vote yes, Doug?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay. Ed.
yeah. Okay, department reports, code enforcement. Again.
Yeah, this is back for April. We, second here, I apologize. Too many pages. During the month of April, we addressed 5 issues, including West Penn plowing into our right-of-way up on Grimes Road, dumping on Delashon Road. That was, there's somebody cited for that. We had a burning violation, which was warning, and we received a report of possible structure problems of the tunnel on Railroad Street, and the county's in the process of having that checked by their engineer. So that's it for ordinance.
Thank you. Engineer, you got anything?
Yeah, we got a report back from Widmer on the Waynesburg Road Waterline Extension Project. Everybody should have gotten that in their emails. So we'll have to discuss that with Senate,
When do we?
along with the
When do you wanna
fire
do that?
departments.
When do you want to do that?
Well,
I
we
just
need-
have some brief comments.
Okay,
Is now
You
the
you
time?
have a copy of it?
Well, Gordon called me,
Yeah.
okay.
because I was down on Chanson today. He called me on it, and he, basically, we're requesting that you approve the extension with an understanding that all of Widmer's issues will be resolved. And that's really all I know. I apologize for not knowing anything other than that. We're deferring to your engineer and saying, if we can address, when we address their issues, would you be willing to make a contingency approval of the project?
Are you a Senate engineer, sir?
Oh, yes, yes.
Can I see that?
Looked like they had some different ideas on specific parts, valves and whatnot. And I think it's,
Yeah, some of it was just like clarifications.
Yeah.
I'm sure that you think.
I apologize, I can't talk to the specifics.
Yeah,
Yeah, the one thing I noticed was the elevations and the pressure
yeah,
differentiation.
that's something that's.
Yeah.
That's definitely,
That's been questionable all along.
Yeah.
So what are they
What's Widmer modeling on that? I mean, is it, or the?
They didn't model.
They didn't model,
They're-
they just reviewed
They're
Senate's
just
model.
reviewing and pointing out, this could be an issue, that could be an issue. I mean, even like for you, Eric, it wants to know,
Right, I wanna know what kind of volume we're gonna.
well,
Yeah.
it's not, apparently, it doesn't specify, Widmer says it doesn't specify what thread you want on their hydrants. You know what I mean?
Wait, and it should, because I
Yeah.
spoke with him
Yes.
directly about
Right.
that.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, some of it's just
Okay.
clarifications.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready at this meeting to make that statement.
No, especially because we had discussed a, booster pump, and
Right.
that really hasn't been addressed either.
And that's not, my understanding is that's not part of the submittal, the booster pump. That's another issue.
It is, but we're not really comfortable. If you draw on the line without the booster pump, it'll be enough if there's an emergency for the fire department.
Yeah.
So while they might be two separate, they're still intertwined.
I understand. Not here to sell.
No, I know that. We're just saying that's an
I've been
issue
here
for
to
us.
ask.
But with,
Yeah.
I'd like to get more input from Eric, and, you know, honestly, we got that today. I read it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
well,
was
And, and
my
I'm not,
boss
I
got it
don't,
today too.
I don't feel comfortable making
Yeah.
that decision.
And I told him that it was gonna be, I
Hard
didn't
sell.
really wanna bring that to you guys,
Yeah.
that
I mean,
request.
I'd also like to hear from the other side too, from Evan and the coal mine and what's.
So basically, you're gonna just table this, whatever this.
We're just gonna sit on it like we have been.
Just from my understanding, Mr. Roach, you're doing this on behalf of Tunnel Ridge Coal Company, correct?
Well, no, we represent Donegal, but the final bill's gonna be paid by Tunnel Ridge.
All right.
No,
No?
no, Senate is Tunnel Ridge's.
Yeah,
Are you,
We're
we're
Tunnel-
no longer using him on the project at all,
we represent Tunnel Ridge now.
Yeah.
entirely?
Yeah,
Yeah.
On that
Yeah,
part.
So
so
you're
we're-
doing this on behalf of Tunnel Ridge,
correct.
and Widmer's, I'm just trying to understand what's going on.
And Widmer's doing it on.
reviewing this on our behalf.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that was an issue we thought before with having the same engineer on
Right.
both sides of
You
the.
can't